Hi, in the Sunday blogs I'm talking about personal development and some of the books I'm reading and podcasts that I'm listening to. And there's a couple of books I'm reading at the moment on something called Character Strengths, the VIA Institute. So this is one called Character Strengths Matter, and another one is Character Strengths Interventions. And there's 24 character strengths, and it's things like appreciation of beauty and excellence, creativity, curiosity, fairness, integrity, and so on. And I decided a few weeks ago that I was going to focus over the next 24 weeks. Each week, I will focus on one of these character strengths and try and improve my abilities, my use of whatever that particular strength was each week. So this week is week 5, so I started this 4 weeks ago. 5 weeks ago, and this week is fairness. So the first week was appreciation of beauty and excellence. Week 2 was bravery. Week 3 was creativity. Week 4 was curiosity, and this week 5 is fairness. And I've done a little mind map, and I'll show this on the screen in a minute. And so some of the things that I've just sort of basically put down on the mind map. So the definition is about how you treat people and trying to treat everyone the same, and the notion of justice and fairness, and let's see what else I put. It's about not letting personal feelings bias how you make decisions about people, giving everyone a fair chance. The essence of it is about equal opportunity for all. Dimensions, it's care-based, it's justice-based, it's about moral reasoning. Correlations are, there's elements of forgiveness, of kindness, of honesty, of leadership, of teamwork. The golden mean is, so on the one extreme is when you're completely detached, and the other extreme is partisanship, where you're just so biased, there's no sense of fairness whatsoever. It's about speaking up for people. It's about self-monitoring the judgments you make, and are they admitting when you're wrong? How often do you admit when you're wrong? I've certainly been guilty of that, and I try now to be more, to realise, have some awareness of when I have made a mistake, and to own up and put my hand up and say, yeah, okay, that was down to me. And some questions that I'm going to be asking myself this week with this about, for example, if I can think of some examples how I can use fairness on a daily basis. What situations in my work life, in my home life, can I challenge myself in my capacity to be fair? It's thinking about things like when I perceive what I may initially think of as an injustice, and it's using that pause between the stimulus and the response. Is it really an injustice? Is it just that my perception was wrong? And then if I do think it is an injustice, even after giving it some thought, well then how can I resolve that in a productive way using my other character strengths? And then it's like, so other fairness is also about involving others in your decisions, allowing others to disagree and to refute things and assumptions that you've made, and being fine with that disagreement and understanding where they're coming from. It's about facilitating, encouraging discussions around other people's opinions and being fair about what they say, and conflict resolution and so on. So these are some of the areas that I'm concentrating on this week in my attempt to see if I can improve my character strength of fairness. And just a little bit about this book, about the character strengths, the 24. And it is, as I said, it's called Character Strengths. And you can take, I'll put a link in the show notes. You can take a test, an online survey of these. It's like it's not really a quiz, but there's lots of different questions. There are a lot of different questions. And then it will tell you what your strengths are in order. And it will obviously be in order of 1 to 24. And some people look at this wrongly. They look at the ones that are number 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and they look upon those as, they're the weak, that's where I'm weak. And that's not what it is at all. So for example, someone might have love as number 20, and then they get really disappointed because they think, I'm quite a loving person, why is that number 20? But that's not what it's about at all. All of these are strengths. And it might mean that that person love is a big part of their life, but maybe they express their kindness, they express their love of learning, their curiosity, their bravery, more so than they do their love. It doesn't mean that they don't have love as a strength. So sometimes people misread the results of this, and none of them are weaknesses, all of them are strengths, but we just use strengths in different degrees. So yeah, that's this week, the book I'm reading, and well, I'm going to be reading it, I've been reading it for the last couple of months because there's so much to it, and it involves rereading and rereading to really get to grips with this. And I want to get to grips with this as part of a course, a 12-month course I'm doing at the moment. It's called With the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy, in learning to be a health coach. And part of this is about identifying my own strengths and how I can make better use of them, but also being able to identify people I'm working with, people I'm trying to help, to identify their strengths and how I can help them make best use of their own strengths to resolve the health issues that they may be facing. So that's this week.